I'm very glad to meet you in Ba Vang Talks again.
Welcome back to Ba Vang Talks, Buddhism and Daily Life. Hello everyone, welcome back to Ba Vang Talks, Buddhism and Daily Life. We have been through quite a journey of exploring Buddhism with the instruction of our special guest. Please welcome and pay respect to Thầy Thích Trúc Thái Minh. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Thank you for making time to be here with us again.
Hi Dan. Hi everyone. Nice to see you again.
Yes, dear Thầy, we know that the law of cause and effect is the core of Buddhism, which dominates our life. And as far as I'm concerned, Buddhist theory has it that this is not our unique life. We have lived countless lives before, and many future lives are awaiting us. So, what is the correlation between the previous life and the next life according to the law of cause and effect? Please explain this to us. Thank you.
So Dan asked me, what is the correlation among the previous life, the current life, and the next life according to the law of cause and effect? I should say that is a very basic question both in philosophy and life. You all may have heard about the term the law of cause and effect. Cause and effect. The law of cause and effect is also mentioned in many Vietnamese proverbs, such as sow the wind, reap the whirlwind. You reap what you sow. Evil deeds breed retribution. So many proverbs. The matter of cause and effect is very important in life. So, is the law of cause and effect real? Does cause and effect really exist? First of all, let's learn about the definition of cause and effect. Actually, it should be fully called cause, condition, and effect. But it's often called cause and effect for short. Cause refers to the seed, which means the main motive. And effect is the result or consequence of that cause, that seed. Those are their definitions. We call it cause and effect. Of course, from a cause, there must be a process leading to effect, which is called condition. Conditions mean auxiliary factors which make cause become result. So does cause and effect really exist? Let's examine our life. In the physical or biological field, for example, a cause is a seed. When we sow a seed under adequate favorable conditions with sufficient soil, water, and light, it will germinate to produce a tree, which later blossoms and fruits. The tree is the result of that seed. The flowers and fruits of that tree are also the result of the original seed. That is cause and effect in the field of biology. We clearly see that there appear the cause and conditions that create the effect. In the physical field, for example, when we boil water, the action of boiling water is the cause. It heats the water up, and when the water reaches 100 degrees Celsius, it turns to steam. That vaporization is the result of heating water. When we kick a ball against the wall with force, the ball bounces back with the same force. That is also cause and effect. When we shout out, a sound echoes, that is also cause and effect. Or when we ride a bike, the action of pedaling is the cause, and the bike running because of inertia is the effect. So what is the essence of cause and effect? It's the flow of movement in which the former is the cause and the latter is the effect. We can take out a part and call it cause, and the next one can be called effect. And maybe later parts are also effects. After a very long time, there still exist effects. One cause can lead to many later effects. Just like when we initially sow only a seed, it grows into a tree, which then produces a lot of fruits. All those fruits are the effects. Then seeds from those fruits continue to be sowed and later grow into trees which will produce other fruits. The later fruits of F1, F2, and F3 generation are all the results of that original seed. So it can be said that cause and effect is like the flow of movement. And we divide it into points, one by one. This point is the cause, and the next point is the effect. We can understand it that way. So cause and effect is a fact, a reality, and a flow of movement. And all the universe is within the operation of cause and effect. It is a flow of operation. So cause and effect must be a truth. You see, Dan? Cause and effect is a truth because it's just a process of operation. A cause meeting favorable conditions must produce an effect. Whether it is in the near or far future, there will definitely be an effect. A flower is the result of sowing a seed. Then the flower produces a fruit, so that fruit is also the result of the original seed. You see, in this view, a cause can be an effect, and vice versa. Today's question is about the principle of cause and effect, that is, about the correlation among the previous life, the current life, and the next life. Imagine this life and this universe are operating as an active flow. We'll see there are always the past, the present, and the future. That's how the flow operates. It is like a river flowing from the headwaters to the downstream zone. If the upper reaches of the river are muddied, the next river section will be affected by the muddy water. Maybe as far as the lower reaches, the mud can settle and the water can be less muddy. Throughout the flow, whichever river section is churned up, its next parts are also muddy. Though we may only roil one part, the next part is affected because the river flows downstream, right? Is it right? Then, if we stop roiling the water, it will be clear. Imagine the flow of life or the movement of the universe is just like a river. Life of humans and all beings, as well as the movement of this universe, is just like a river. A part is affected by its preceding one. If the preceding part is clean, the following one is clean too. One muddy part of the river can muddy the next. The mud will settle when we stop roiling the water, hence the clear water. You see, there is always a continuation in time, from the time before to the present, and from the present to the next. In Buddhism, it is divided into 3 times: the past, the present, and the future. Especially, I think the question today refers to life and the cause of effect of humans. When it comes to lifetime, it's often about humans and their life.
nhân quả của con người. Đã nói đến kiếp thường nói đến con người. Kiếp sống của con người.
So, does the law of cause and effect influence human life from every individual to human society?
Cuộc sống của con người, của cá nhân con người và của xã hội loài người không?
Let me tell you, the law of cause and effect never omits anyone. All of us and all beings are under the influence of this flow of movement, which means that we are within the process of cause and effect.
Tức là nằm trong tiến trình của dòng nhân quả.
No one can get out of that process. We are all within it. And it flows from the past to the present and from the present to the future. We know that we are all present in this human life, which is this present lifetime.
Tất cả chúng ta đều hiện diện ở đây gọi là trong kiếp hiện tại, cái kiếp này. Trong kiếp này.
This question mentioned the previous, the current, and the future life.
Kiếp này và kiếp sau đấy.
So, is there any connection between the previous life and this current life? Does this current life have anything relating to the afterlife? Dear Dan and the audience, humankind or life in general is also a stream. Life is a stream. Our human life is the combination of body and mind.
Cái kết hợp giữa thân và tâm. Thân và tâm.
Our mind makes our body alive. A body without a mind is a dead body or a corpse. It is just a material object, which is called the four elements in Buddhism. And what makes this body alive is the spiritual part, which we call inner spirit. I often use an electric bulb as a metaphor for spirit. When a light bulb itself does not produce light, it's just a dead bulb. The bulb only glows when electric currents pass through it. It is electricity that makes the bulb glow and become valuable. Without electricity, the bulb becomes worthless. Likewise, a human body without inner spirit becomes worthless. It is just like a log. It is the inner spirit that makes our body alive. As what I have just analyzed, the flow of cause and effect covers everything, including the physical world. Living beings are also within the physical world. Our body is also within that flow. And our mind, our spiritual part, is also within the operating process of cause and effect. It can't be outside it. The law of cause and effect rules everything. In Buddhism, there is a verse. To understand your previous life, look at what you have in your present life. To have a preview of your next life, examine your daily act in this life. If you want to know your previous lives, look at your current life.
Thì hãy xem cái đời sống hiện tại của mình này nó ra sao.
I feel it's like a river.
Giống như dòng sông.
If we want to know whether the previous stretch of the river is muddy or clean, look right at the current stretch. If the current stretch is muddy, we know that its previous stretch is muddy too. Churning up the previous stretch will get the current one muddy. To know whether the next stretch of the river is muddy or clean, reflect on whether we churn up the current stretch or not. If the current stretch is churned up, the next must be muddy. Buddhism clearly sees that. Observing our current life can somewhat tell us about our past lives and next lives.
Đoán biết về cái kiếp trước và hình dung ra được cái kiếp tiếp theo, kiếp sau.
Our current life is the connection between past lives and future lives. To answer this question, I will quote from the Sutra of Cause and Effect. It's the cause and effect in the three periods of time according to Buddhist view. Three periods of time are past lives, the present life, and future lives. In Buddhism, three periods of time refers to our own past lives, our own present life, and our own future lives. Only one individual, one being is referred to. That being is an alive stream flowing from the past to the present and to the future. Let me quote the very first verse from the Sutra of Cause and Effect in the three periods of time. The sutra says, "Why are some people officials at present? Because with gold they gilded the Buddhas in their past lives long, long ago. It's from their practice in lives in the past that they reap in this life a rich fruition. The purple gown and golden cordon, should you seek them, seek with the Buddhas. Gilding the Buddhas is your own gain. Don't say it's easy to become an official. It cannot happen if causes aren't planted." The sutra says why one can be official. There are people appointed as officials in their current life. You know, not everyone can become officials. If all citizens can become officials, there will be no more ordinary citizens. Obviously, few people can become officials. An official has to manage many people, so the number of officials must be lower than that of ordinary people. Nor is the number of officials equal to that of ordinary people. It must be smaller. So that minority of people must have something more special than others. In the Sutra of Cause and Effect, the Buddha taught why some people are officials at present. Those who have the blessings of being officials have power over many people. And those who are kings even have power over all citizens in the country. So it's not easy to be appointed as mandarin or king. Cause and Effect Sutra says it is due to their causes in the past lives. It means that in the flow of human lives, they did meritorious deeds in their past lives, which is to gild Buddha statues with gold. They had great respect for the Buddhas or did good deeds. With gold, they gilded the Buddhas. What else does it mean? Cause and Effect Sutra may seem simple, but I say, the phrase "with gold that gilded the Buddhas" carries more than its literal meaning. Besides its literal meaning, what does it signify? Gilding the Buddha statues with gold also means bringing out the best in ourselves to solemnize the Buddha in our mind. We gild the Buddha in our mind too. Gold is considered one of the 7 treasures in Buddhism. 7 treasures include conviction, virtue, conscience, concern, etc. They are good qualities. Those who use good qualities as gold to solemnize the Buddha in their mind will be mandarins in their next life. That's it. So cause and effect really exists. Then what is the cause of owning a carriage and riding a palanquin? People like that were builders and menders of bridges and roads. It is uncommon nowadays to see people ride a horse or a palanquin as people drive cars now, but not everyone can own luxurious cars. Even in wealthy Western countries, not everyone has private cars. Or even owning a car, not everyone can afford luxury ones. Those who get luxury items and vehicles in this current life often had conditions to build bridges and repair roads in previous lives, according to Cause and Effect Sutra. Mending roads and building bridges for people to travel are practical things to do. In terms of spirituality, building bridges and repairing roads mean forming connections. Here I will talk more about spirituality. Those who often connect everyone to create a good and smooth communication among people are also considered to do the similar work of building bridges and repairing roads. People working in the field of communication like you are also considered to build bridges by broadcasting or transmitting information. You are also building bridges and mending roads so that there are no obstructions and hindrances on the roads connecting people. That is also a way.
À,
Those who create good ways for people to communicate, understand, know each other more, and develop everyone's wisdom also have the merit of building bridges and repairing roads.
là cái duyên phước, gọi là phước làm đường bồi đắp lộ đấy.
And in their following life, they will own a carriage and ride a palanquin, its cause and effect. The whole Cause and Effect Sutra tells us about the operation of the stream of cause and effect from the past to the present. What we currently own is the effect of the past, and what we will be in the future is decided right in the present. Those are also stated in Cause and Effect Sutra. Most cows and horses were humans before, people who didn't settle their debts. So if now we owe money to someone and we don't settle our debt, in the continuous stream of life, we will be reborn as cows and horses in the future lives to pay the debts that we've owned. What else? Abandoned, forlorn, rejected beings were cruel of old, abusing others. If we deliberately harm and abuse others in our current life, we are sowing the seeds of unstable and unsettled future lives in the flow of cause and effect. One who has such a malicious mind can never settle anywhere, hence a floating life. If we always harm and despise others, we won't have peace of mind and no one will want to stay with us. It is the seed that causes our unsettled life. It's very true. I have quoted some verses of the Sutra of Cause and Effect in the 3 periods of time to show you that Buddhism has a clear view of the flow of cause and effect. It is a truth, an objective truth that no one can go against. It is not a creator, a god, a Buddha, or a sage that creates the flow of cause and effect. It exists before everything. It is that natural. Nobody creates it. The flow of life keeps going on no matter what. The preceding stream flows and causes the next stream to continue it. Nobody creates the flow of cause and effect. We can only understand and utilize it to transform that flow into the best possible one. We can't stop or cut it. That's impossible. The flow of cause and effect is eternal. So it's very important for us to look at our current life. Current life is extremely important. The current life is a crux from which we will know how our previous lives were and how our future lives will be. Therefore, Buddhism attaches great importance to current life and current behavior. If we want to make an impact on the flow of cause and effect, we must impact right on our current life. No one can travel to the past or the future. Do you think so, Dan? No one can go back into the past. I've seen several movies about time travel before. Have you ever watched a Russian movie called Ruslan and Ludmila? In that film, there was a fairy who could turn the wheel of time. He could turn the wheel to rewind the clock. But actually, it's just a fiction movie. In fact, we can go back into the past. Likewise, if we are watching a war movie of the 1970s at the present moment, that doesn't mean we can step back in time.
Chúng ta xem thì tuy là chúng ta xem cái bộ phim của những năm đó là trong quá khứ, nhưng chúng ta cũng đang xem trong hiện tại, chứ không phải chúng ta nhảy được vào quá khứ đâu. Chúng ta đang xem
Actually,
bộ
we are
phim
just watching a
của
movie
những
of
năm
the
quá khứ,
past
nhưng
at
mà
this
đang xem trong
moment.
giây phút hiện tại này. Chứ
We
không phải
can't
chúng
go
ta
back
quay
to
được vào
1975.
1975. Không
We
phải.
can't.
Có phải.
Right?
Mọi cái
Everything
nó đều xảy
happens
ra
in
hiện
the
tại.
present.
Cho nên cái giây
So
phút
the
hiện tại này
present
cực kỳ
moment
quan trọng.
is extremely important. The
Và
future must
tương
start
lai
from
của
the
thế giới
present moment.
cũng phải bắt đầu từ trong giây phút hiện tại này. Cho nên
Buddhism
tôi
has a
cho
very
nhà Phật
clear view of this matter.
cái nhìn của nhà Phật thấy rất rõ.
Let me
Câu
tell
chuyện
you a
vui
funny story.
kể đến và đại chúng nghe. Có
There
cái
was a
quán họ
restaurant
bán
selling
bún riêu
delicious
rất
but
ngon.
expensive bún riêu.
Nhưng mà cũng bán là cũng khá đắt vì ngon.
One day, a
Có
man
mấy
went
chú
to the
này, chú
restaurant.
ăn thì
He saw the
chủ quán
restaurateur
họ bán
putting up a
tiền ra.
sign
Có dựng
which
cái biển
said
ở trước
free bún riêu
cửa quán.
tomorrow in front
Biển
of
ghi
the
là
restaurant.
ngày mai ăn bún miễn phí. Ngày mai ăn bún miễn phí.
He was very happy to see the sign. Then he asked the restaurateur, I can eat free bún riêu tomorrow, can't I? She replied, right, it'll be free. He was very happy because he was not rich. He intended to take his wife and children to the restaurant the next day to eat for free. People like free stuff very much. So the next day, he took his family to the restaurant. They ordered and ate a lot. Having finished the meal, he stood up and thanked the restaurateur. Thank you, bún riêu today tastes very good. Everything tastes better when it's free. The restaurateur happily replied, yes, your whole family ate 10 bowls of bún riêu today. Please pay your bill. Then he said, oh, yesterday you said free food tomorrow. That sign is still there. So why do you charge for food? She said, that's right, sir. I said I will provide free food tomorrow. But you still have to pay for what you eat today. Today is today. Bún riêu will not be free until tomorrow. Eventually, he gave in and paid for the meal. Because she said free food tomorrow, she did not say free food today. Today is today, so he still has to pay for what he eats today. It's only free tomorrow. Just a funny story.
Very interesting.
Then, though it's just a funny story, it tells the truth. What is it? We all live and exist in the present. Everything happens in the present moment. In Buddhism, it is called ksana, which means an extremely tiny unit of time. It's very hard to understand this point. When we say a word at the present moment, that moment right away becomes the past. So, Buddhist monastics like me often say that we are in the here and now. To be in the here and now means đang là in Vietnamese. It is a very important phrase. Everything is in the here and now. The here and now is very subtle. And everything happens in the here and now. You see, then, whatever we want to do, we must do it in the here and now. For example, we are talking to each other in the here and now. I'm moving my hand in the here and now too. And right afterwards, that moment becomes the past. So it's not simple. Buddhism has a clear view of this matter. Though it is widely said that there are the past and the future, no past and no future actually exist. Because no one can bring back the past or bring the future to us, there is only the here and now. You see, Dan, the past is just in our mind. So is the future. We think about the future, we think about the past, but there are actually no past and no future. There is only the here and now. You see, Dan, you and me, everyone is flowing in the currents of the here and now. The here and now. Whatever we want to do or transform, we must do it in the here and now. It's very important. It's very important to understand this point. The flow of cause and effect is also present in the here and now. Everything happens in the here and now. It really does. Then it challenges your translation to make people understand that point. Buddhism says we should cherish and treasure the present moment so that we can live it to the fullest. That's how we transform our life. Our life is all about the here and now. There's no so-called past or future. Those are just imaginary. You see, then, can anyone bring the previous moment back? No one. We can neither turn back time nor reach out for the future, so neither the future nor the past exists. Only the here and now exists and flows. I hope Dan and the audience can feel this. We should treasure the flow of our life here and now. It's so valuable. And if we want to have a better future, we must take action in the present moment. That's it. We should be aware of this. In Buddhism, it's called awareness. Be aware of our cultivation of virtue. Be aware of every kasana here and now. That means we are navigating and rectifying the flow of our life. How that flow can be rectified depends on how we live at this present moment. Dan's question is about the cause and effect and the correlation among past lives, the present life, and future lives. That's what I would like to share with you. First, cause and effect is an objective reality. It's a flow which everyone and everything is within. No one and nothing is an exception. Once seeds are sowed, there will be fruits. In the flow of the past, the present, and the future, the present or the here and now is the most important. In terms of human life, we know there are two sides, good and evil. If we do good deeds and sow good seeds, we will reap happiness and peacefulness. By contrast, if we do bad deeds, suffering will surely come to us. Whether it's good or evil, everything happens here and now in that flow. That's so important. It is something very special that we should contemplate. Buddhism puts great emphasis on the present moment. How to live every single moment to the fullest is the most difficult thing. Why? Since we often recall the past and dream about the future, whereas we lose track of the present moment. Do you understand then? We are not mindful of the here and now. Our mind keeps wandering. We recall the past and imagine the future, but forget about the present. Although it is a philosophy, it is also the truth. That's the truth of life. Through the talk today, I hope you all will ponder and have a better view of cause and effect, as well as the so-called correlation among the present, the past, and the future. I'd like to convey a message that we should cherish the here and now to strive for the most wholesome, aware, and peaceful mind. That's it.
Well, thank you, Thay, for giving us such a clear answer. I used to question the operation of karma among lives. Now I'm so clear about this. And dear everyone, I hope from what Thay has shared with us, you will have a deeper look at how the previous life relates to the current life regarding the law of cause and effect. And I believe that we will have a better life if we know for sure that our actions today will influence our future. And as Thay has said, we need to treasure every moment of our life and live it to the fullest. That's a wrap for today's talk. Please tell us what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. See you soon in the next episode of Ba Vang Talks, Buddhism and Daily Life.
Goodbye everyone. See you again.